Hey everyone, this is Rish and welcome back to my channel. So we have a pretty major update coming tomorrow and I wanted to make some videos for this. So I'm going to start with the new pets that are coming out and I'm basically going to make two separate videos. So this first one is for the new pet system and then the second video will be about the new Reliquary bosses, new zone and everything else that's coming out in the update. New mystical companions, familiars. Tales of familiars are thought to be merely stories woven to captivate the young minds of Sanctuary and caution its overzealous explorers, but they're all true. They speak of companion creatures hailing from forgotten reaches of the world. While they might appear unfamiliar to you, they're known to the witches of that untamable wild circle, who sign spiritual contracts binding them to mortals. With the help of Nisa, the new vendor located in Westmarch, you too can forge a lifelong bond with one of Sanctuary's hidden wonders. Familiars are companions that aid the player in combat using a combination of active and passive skills, which can damage enemies or provide bonuses to the player and familiar. These majestic allies can also lend a helping hand outside of combat if they possess certain traits, such as the ability to salvage or identify your items for you, allowing you to spend more time farming. So let's just take a look at the available pets that will be coming. So these are all the pets that will be available in the update. I'm not giving any more information on them for now. I will let you discover that for yourself. You can read that in the patch notes or find out more once they're live in game. So let's take a quick look top line into what we need to do with our familiars. Use your knowledge of the arcane to contract a mighty creature, keeping them by your side to aid in your exploits. Familiars are extraordinary companions, beasts of the desert, fluorescent beings of light, tree-dwelling spirits of a most predatory nature. It is paramount to tread the path that lays ahead with equally formidable ally at your side. Get a feel for familiars by playing the new Darkling Plane limited time event. More details about this later in the article. Familiars are peculiar creatures that must first be contracted. You can earn familiars by playing through in-game activities and events, or purchase optional in-game bundles to level and obtain powerful familiars. Familiars provide utility powers and passive skills, and they can aid you in battle, but don't impact resonance or combat rating. More powerful familiars can also be acquired through melding and conversion, which is outlined later in this section. Players can bring up to 6 familiars with them in combat, making the best use of them through primary and secondary slots. The familiar equipped in your primary slot will have all of their skills and abilities active to influence gameplay, whilst the familiars in secondary slots only affect gameplay through their secondary skills. Players will be able to purchase additional secondary slots for gold in the familiars tab. Each familiar has an active skill, passive skills, attributes and traits that boost their own abilities and yours. Active skills are the primary skill for each familiar, while passive skills improve the stats of the familiar. Traits help boost your various player stats such as movement speed and critical strike chance and have great utility use. Attributes determine the familiar's power and improve these values to improve their potency. A level 1 familiar only has its active skill unlocked with all 6 passive skills unlocked once the familiar reaches level 30. Familiars have traits which can improve things such as critical hit chance or movement speed when not actively equipped as an active skill. Passive skills strengthen the familiar itself, whilst traits improve your stats, including the familiar's traits. Traits become available once the familiar reaches level 30 and are divided into 2 common categories, common and advanced. Common traits only apply to the familiar they appear on, and advanced traits stack between your currently selected familiar and bonded familiars. A familiar can have a total of 6 traits. Familiars can have 4 different attributes which determine the potency of their passive skills: ferocity, agility, insight and resilience. Ordinary and aberrant familiars. Let's take a look into this now. Familiars have 2 separate variants, ordinary and aberrant. Ordinary familiars are most common. They can be found easily and contain valuable skills available to aid in combat and beyond. By comparison, aberrant familiars carry stronger skills, and only aberrant familiars can achieve the most advanced growth stage of physical maturity. Familiars can be acquired in a few ways, mainly through a summoning contract or through purchasing a tamed familiar. To acquire a summoning contract, talk to Nisra the Witch in Westmarch and purchase one with gold. Summoning contracts can also be obtained as event rewards, a battle pass reward, or a regular drop from killing monsters in Sanctuary. A summoning contract has an equal chance of producing each kind of familiar, for example, Brood Talon or Dusk Prowler. Each kind of familiar has a certain active abilities they favour, so choosing specific familiars may best suit your playstyle. Additionally, familiars can be purchased at the familiars shop at level 30. Familiars can also be obtained from shop bundles, the marketplace, the Boon of Plenty, and through event rewards. Purchasing a familiar guarantees what type of familiar you receive and whether they are ordinary or aberrant. Aberrant familiars can also be traded at Winton's Market, with passive and active skills fully unlocked on purchase and varying numbers of common and advanced traits. Aberrant familiars can also be obtained through conversion. For more details, read our section on conversion, which we will go through in a second. Familiar quality. Familiars have 4 different quality levels: common, magic, rare, and legendary. Each rarity of familiar indicates the level and strength of passive traits the familiar possesses. Ordinary familiars can be common, magic, rare, whilst aberrant familiars have the potential to be all 4 types of rarity. Summoning table. Once you've obtained a summoning contract, use the summoning table in Nizra's shop to summon your familiar. Using the summoning table assigns the kind of familiar unique active skill and passive skills, which are assigned but not yet available, as well as attributes and stats. If you've purchased a level 30 familiar at Nizra's shop, the outcomes are a little different. The familiar type is already assigned upon purchase, as is the unique active skill, attributes and stats. Traits are assigned immediately as the purchased familiar is already level 30. So let's look at levelling familiars. Your familiar receives a new skill every 5 levels until they have reached all 6 skills at level 30. Familiars can be empowered by providing them Spirit Essence, which drops from elite monsters, chests, or is available in shop bundles. Now let's take a look into melding. Melding provides a way to increase the power of your familiar by taking 2 familiars and melding them together. Melding allows you to select or transfer specific passive skills onto your preferred familiar. Melding 2 level 30 familiars will produce a familiar with improved passive skills and allows you to select the 6 passive skills of your choice from the 2 melded familiars. This also has a chance to produce a familiar with rare passive skills even if both familiars in the melding process possess none. When merging familiars of the same type, if the familiar that is discarded has attributes higher than the kept familiar, the melded familiar will receive a +1 bonus to that attribute. Melding is also available for merging 2 different kinds of familiars. This produces a familiar with different or better passive skills, and you can select which kind of familiar you would like to keep alongside the preferred passive skills. For detailed drop rate chances for melding familiars, different drop chances are available to view in-game. Now let's take a look into familiar conversion. Familiar conversion provides access to a new familiar and a chance at obtaining an aberrant familiar. You can convert familiars of all the same type or select 3 different familiars to convert. Converting your familiars generates new traits and can sometimes create an aberrant familiar. Once you have 3 aberrant familiars for conversion and some spare platinum, you can convert 3 aberrant familiars for a chance of an aberrant familiar with legendary traits. Conversion does not guarantee your converted familiar will remain at its specific rarity. However, if you want your converted familiar to remain as a legendary, you can use a conversion stone. Familiar stones can be obtained either through ending pacts with the familiars in your inventory or by purchasing shop bundles. Conversion does not guarantee a more powerful familiar. However, the use of a conversion stone allows you to lock in or improve the rarity of the familiar you are using to convert. And that is it for my familiars video. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know which familiar you're most excited for in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.